Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
All right, that's decent. Thank you for those who braved in today, making it into the office. I know it was pretty crazy yesterday. Please silence everything. Your wearables, right? Everything. Yeah, the levee breaking down the road was pretty crazy yesterday. They came in and they told us, "Yep, you guys got to go home." Once we saw Blue Origin, all the cars were just like leaving, and the lines to get out of here was like insane. It took hours. It took you how much to get the Federal Way? Like an hour and 30 minutes.
And I'm not going. I went to Federal Way. It took me an hour and 15 minutes.
Wow.
And I was rerouted like 4 times.
Yeah, it was definitely challenging to get around yesterday. The freeway is still closed. 167 is still closed right here at the 212, all the way down to what, Auburn?
15.
15. Yeah, that's a big chunk of freeway closed down. It's causing backups everywhere. So I get
You
it.
put your finger through that, like the poem, was it the dike, the
Yeah.
finger in the dike? What was
Yeah.
that?
Yes, it got pretty bad. The building that's behind, that's right behind the levee, they got damaged. There was water all through their parking lot, mud. It was bad. We almost had to just float down the river. Thank you, McKenna, for putting me down the river on Zoom. So I know most of you guys are on Zoom today, but we appreciate you guys showing up. It's more. That's how I felt. Holiday party recap. We had a lot of fun. I know we gave tons of prizes and stuff like that. I know we had to pivot last minute to go change the cam bar, but they did great. They did really good food. People are still talking about food from that place. But it was an amazing time. We had a lot of fun. We're very thankful to be able to get together and celebrate. Santa's coming next week. Can you believe it? Next week is Christmas. So you guys know what that means. Don't forget computation of time for contracts. So do not forget on Christmas and New Year's, those days do not count. So for your contracts, 5 days or less, holidays count. So just be careful. We had during Thanksgiving time a few challenging deals with contracts, not from anybody in our office, but more or less on the other sides of transactions we were dealing with. And we're still dealing with a high volume of issues and contracts. I don't know why it has been so bad lately, but definitely we've seen some really poorly written inspection contingencies. One of them was so bad and the seller was like, "What am I really agreeing to?" And our broker's like, "Yeah, I don't really know. You'll probably have to talk to an attorney because I think we can say yes and you don't have to do anything." It was one of those things. So it's just a challenging time right now. So just be very careful, take your time and just really calculate your days accordingly. Take your phone out, have the calendar open and look at it when you're counting days. Just be mindful. We want to welcome our newest members to the office, Mitch and Allison Lomax. They actually transferred from Bellevue. Very happy they joined us. Mitch plays in Auburn golf course, although I don't think he's been playing for a little while. I think that place has got some water on it, hasn't it? So we're very happy that both Mitch and Allison are here. Are you on the board? Are you on the listing board, that is? Come on up, Mr. Tony. We've got 37 brand new listings. That was in November. We didn't quite get off the board, but we do have a really good prize this week. It's the last month, end of the year prize. And what are we giving away today, Tony?
Today, we are giving away a rebranding package from McKenna.
Thanks.
A very expensive value and a lot of time. So you get to rebrand. McKenna, why don't you explain?
Yeah, so we kind of have this thing where the market refresh for the year.
Come up closer. Otherwise, the Zoom people won't be able to hear
Okay. I talked to the owl.
you. Yeah.
Well, yeah, so we're gonna have an opportunity to do like one-on-one, kind of like our marketing consultations we do normally. But instead, it'll be more for like your entire brand. So going through your logos, your colors, your fonts, everything you're using, and then setting up some templates for you, or looking at the Journal Scott ones and creating whatever you have already with, a refresh. because of the new year. So going to the new year with kind of your set stuff that you're putting out for your social media, your email campaigns, your flyers, if you're at open houses or putting listings on, anything that you're giving to people as far as resources, making it yours. So yeah, one-on-one.
Fantastic. All right, you ready? That's a $500 value. That's pretty good. Who is it? Shirley Grendel.
She's not here.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. You guys.
They-
Okay.
Let's stick to the, you know, must be
Yeah.
present to win.
Yeah, that's fair. Wazy.
Wacy.
He's not here.
He was here.
Oh.
Was he here?
He's not in the meeting.
Uh-oh. Oh, no,
No,
I was
that's
like,
fine.
yeah. Oh.
Okay. Oh, it is Mossy.
Yeah, he's here. Mossy, you won.
What a entry.
Go buy yourself a lot of.
There you go.
Yeah.
You want a latte?
It's a latte.
We'll just reel the rest of it back.
Yeah. That was pretty good. We're gonna continue that thing going into next year. Listings are really important. You gotta list to last in this business, so you guys know we're gonna be concentrating on that. And then we're pretty sure there's gonna be a lot of listings coming on in January and February, because there's a lot of people waiting. So how many people are bringing on a new listing here coming up in the next few weeks? Yeah. Yeah. Mhm. John Scott Foundation is again sponsoring the vendors One Big Give. I always want to say One Big
Kiss.
Kiss, because that's what it used to be from
Yeah.
Kiss FM. But this is the 23rd annual event. The foundation has been sponsoring it the entire time, which is fantastic. In fact, Lennox, you said it's 30 years next year for the
For
foundation.
the foundation,
For
yeah,
the
this
foundation.
event's 23 years.
Yeah.
25.
25.
I heard it this morning. I was watching.
Well, I thought it was 25.
Okay.
For some
This is
reason
the
that
graphic.
says 23rd.
Yeah, so that it must be an old graphic.
Yeah.
But yes, it is 25 years. John Scott's been sponsoring it the whole time, but we'll be there later today, answering your calls, you know, getting donations and stuff. So it's a great event that raises a lot of money for the uncompensated care. With that, I'd like to bring up our special guest,
All right.
our chairman and CEO, Lennox Scott.
Thank you.
Well, good to see you. And I know we're on film, so we'll be sending that out to everyone afterwards. But thank you for being in person. We're in the game. We're right here. So the radiothon. So you can listen to it on Jet Radio 95.7, I believe it is. And the John L. Scott Foundation, which we're all together, all of us together, they mention us probably like 6 times an hour. Sponsored by the John L. Scott Foundation. They've raised over $20 million over these 23 years, 25 years. And it's just, we'll be, our volunteers will be there from 2 to 4:30 today.
Yeah.
So you might hear us in the background, or they might mention us at that time, and we present our miracle match during that time frame. So I was listening to it on the way down in the car. So they're in full gear. So the message for real estate message for this time of year, 'tis the season for joy and engagement. You like that, the second part, and engagement. So the joy part is enjoy the holidays. It's a time for relatedness, being with family and friends. Just go through reflection, renewal of spirit. Recap last year, where it's almost a wrap, this year of 2025 as we head into next year, 2026. So I'm going to be going over a couple concepts because this is a very important time in the real estate industry. So I'm going to lay that out right now because the first of the year is just 2 weeks away, you know, two and a half weeks away, type of thing. And there's some activities we want to do right after the first of the year. So I want to get into that and go through some of the concepts. So this is,
That was our first slide.
the
yeah.
first
Yeah,
article, it just came out today. Seattle was ranked number 3 of the top 50 largest US cities for a share of residents who lived in another state or county coming in. So people are still coming in to this market area. Number 3 in the nation of large cities. So that's an important information because that keeps the growth going. Even though job growth has gone flat, people are still moving into the area. So there's a job rotation taking place in this market. Okay, so you've seen this before, and I had about 5 minutes at River Rock. I'm going to go into more detail for some items. First of all, this is 4 years worth of data. Year 2023 is the purple line, 2024 is the brown line, 2025 is the blue line for a number of new resale listings coming on the market. The black line is normalcy. So you can still see we're running below normalcy. The listings went up in March, April, May because of the tariff talk. The market rolled over on March 21st. Multiple offers came off. And when multiple offers come off, we come off of premium pricing back down to market price. And that all happened right around the 1st of April. Well, the other thing that happens is people throw their home on the market wanting the March 1st price. Well, the market rolled over and they can't get the March 1st price anymore. So we have some price reductions we had to go through. This happens every time the market rolls over. So we usually take 6 months, 6 to 9 months for the market to fully adjust in prices. Well, that puts us to January 1st of this year. We're fully adjusted. All the new listings now are at market price. We got off the premium pricing that we were running at the beginning of this year. The other thing is interest rates have lowered down from closer to 7. Now we're at 6.29 or something like that today. But the spread has come down. 2 years ago, the spread above the 10-year bond was 3 percentage points. Now it's 1.12% spread. That's the reason why rates have really come down. Is the spread above the 10-year bond has narrowed back. Normalcy would be 1.8 to 2. So we're getting back down to normalcy on the spread above the 10-year bond, and that's why rates have come down. And that's why Lawrence Yun is still predicting 6% to be average for next year for home mortgage interest rates. I'm not sure if they're going to come down that much more because the bond market has spoken. They're concerned about the deficits. They're just not coming down. We have so much around that. But 6% is good. We're good to go at 6% because that's what's taking place. So this is for new listings coming on. And to me, when listings come on, that's a lead indicator to more buyers in the market because the vast majority have a home to sell. Our buyers, they also have a home to sell. And I think it's about 80% of the market of those listings that come on. This is when homes go under contract. You can see it was more of a narrow band here the last 3 years. A little bit higher, the blue line above the last 2 years here. We went up in September because rates dropped down to 6% in September. But then the federal shutdown happened and brought us right back down to where we were last year for numbers of new homes going under contract. So we're still running 20-25%. This was 30% below normalcy. So our phrase this year is for 25 and for 26 is outperform the market. What activities am I going to do to outperform the market? And here's the good news. It doesn't take much because only 15% of brokers or what they call agents across the nation have a database. And even those that have a database, they're not engaging with their database. And we know from Dr. Helen Chung, we have the psychologist we brought in, it's all about being present with someone, having a level 2 communication, two-way communication, reciprocity, caring for each other, giving each other resources in life and referrals in business. That's where it takes place. And so we're flipping the 80-20 rule. The 80-20 rule is 20% implement and they get the vast majority of business, sometimes up to 80%. Well, we want to help 80% plus of our John L. Scott broker associates have a database and be engaged and be in the top 20% of the industry. That's what it's going to take because it's worth 80% of our listings are from someone we already know. I want you to be with that for a second. 80% is from someone you already know. And I just heard a nice comment. If you're going to have a wedding today, who would you invite? Well, there's your database. Just think about that. You're wondering, who can I put in my database? Well, who would you invite to your wedding? Who would you invite to a birthday party or to a ball game or anything like that? You know, that's a good foundation of people that you know and trust and would call on each other in time of need or something. So we're gonna have to outperform the market. They're predicting, 4 to 14% increase in sales this coming year. And I'm all up for that. We're still not gonna be back up at normalcy, but it's gonna be a better year because we've recalibrated prices and rates have also come down. And we're going through the cycle of job rotation is taking place, and the economy should pick up next year, is what I'm hearing and reading about. Okay, this is the next chart. This is 3 years. This is 2025, 24, 23, and this is normalcy. The black line here is when new resale listings come on the market. You can see each year, it peaks in May each year. During the winter time, the number of homes going under contracts, the gold bars, buyers are more resilient than sellers. So we get more homes going under contract than number of new listings coming on. So there's a reduction of unsold properties in the market. But starting in March, we start to get more listings above the number of homes going under contract. We start to build up unsold inventory especially over the summertime. We know after the first year, I should say September 1st is the high point of unsold. January 1st is the low point, just 4 months later, because we go through the winter cleanup. Very few homes come on the market, as you see this chart right here, November, December, and January, February starts to get back up. It's the summer when the big number of listings come on. But buyers come out of the woodwork after the holidays because they look before they list. They're out looking. The biggest day for people looking online for homes is the week between Christmas and New Year's. Because they already know they're going to be moving next year. They're already out there looking between Christmas and New Year's online for homes. So the attractives, we need to get to our people for that. So we go up 2 levels of hotness right after the first of the year. And then in April, we come off 1 level of hotness because there's more homes coming on than number of homes going under contract. And then we come down to another level in June. It happens this way every single year. Really, do you see a pattern? I got it. It's not back here. Because we have the lock-in effect of 3% mortgages. People still aren't moving in the normal sequence unless a major life event happens to get them out of their house. And sometimes if they're going to move, they'll rent their current home because they have such a favorable interest rate. It's a cash cow. It's a cash machine for that. So we have the normal pattern every single time. The blue line is the most recent month completed, November, 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 just so you can see the chart. Okay, this is our sales activity intensity indicator. This is a John L. Scott product. We've been looking at this since probably the 90s, and then we morphed it into this position here. And this just shows us what percent of new listings go under contract the first 30 days, resale listings. And this speaks just volumes to me because it tells me what's going on in the market. I can tell when there's price appreciation. If we're just at a healthy market of 30% going under contract, we're probably at maybe 1 or 2% price appreciation at 30. We're reducing prices down here if it's a major change down here if it's just healthy. If we're at 50%, we're probably at 5% price appreciation. 65, we're in the upper ones. We're in the 10% plus at 75. We're not going back to extreme frenzy. So we're not going to see 10% plus price appreciation. I know in the mid price ranges and in your packet, we put in there the housing forecast for next year, the first couple of pages. If you open it up, you'll see by price category. The mid price ranges, we're expecting surge to frenzy market. We know we're going to be at 5 to 7% price appreciation in Southeast King County in the mid price ranges after after the first year. And then it'll settle back down into that very strong to surge. And that's price support. It's very strong and still really good. There's not a price reduction. It's just prices won't go up starting in March, April, maybe May, June. Prices won't be going up anymore, but they all go up right after the first of the year in the mid price ranges. Isn't that good to know? 70% of the transactions happen in the mid price ranges. It's a hot market. There's buyers in the market, there's gonna be enough buyers in the marketplace. Now, the luxury is gonna be a little bit less. We know in the luxury, we might be at strong to very strong. The ultra luxury will be at healthy to strong. That, you know, it depends on each market area that we're in. But so the housing forecast is, we're making it available to you. You'll be getting it here shortly. We send it out to your database. Those that get your housing update, it's broker branded to you. That will be going out the 29th of December, because we want to get it out that week where everybody starts looking for homes. And then you can also share it directly yourself, and then you know they'll look at it because it's coming from you. They're more likely to look at it. You can do your 1-minute market update video. Just paraphrase, ask chat, put it into a chat or something, and just ask it to paraphrase it, and just give a half a minute to 1-minute market update video. And send that to your database, put it up on social media, and do a boost ad. You will dominate the airwaves if you would do that. It's that powerful. 6 times more people will watch a video than would ever read anything. Only 30% open an email. Maybe you text it to key people. Maybe those where there's a vacant home, or you get it from the title company, all the vacant homes, and you send, you know, all those rental homes. I should say for where the owner has a different address than the property address. That's what I'm looking for. Maybe you send it to all them. Type of a deal, because they want to know what's going on, and you can attract a business to yourself. So this is our indicator. It really helps direct our conversation, our consultation. And this continues to be a market for consultation. Since April of 2022, we've been at a higher level of consultation with our clients. Our value went up substantially because homes weren't just selling the first weekend. You know, we have to, but in this market, it's more balanced market. Everybody can buy a home and everybody can sell a home. It just depends on how they're positioned and what they want to accomplish. But there's a room for everybody to do something, to move forward. But that comes down to my consultation so they can make an informed decision. So I'm real happy about that. Okay, this is our housing update. This is what happens to be for Southeast King County. It's through November, our December housing update that we put out. The number one price range is 500 to 750. 96 new listings in November. 126 homes went under contract. This is for resale. 210 unsold inventory for a 1.7 month supply. That's considered a shortage. 49.7% went under contract within the first 30 days, which is considered very strong. We have the two scales down here. Back then it was the first of the month, it was 6.31% interest rates. So this is just something good we send out. Every month you should be doing your 1-minute market update monthly video. It's not hard. It'll take you 10 minutes. Just take this, write down 3 things you want to talk about it. And then you probably only got to talk about 2 because that'll take a minute. And then you get to put a 6-second anchor at the end of it. The 6-second anchor. You know, by the way, if you have any friends or family thinking of moving, if they need help or have any questions, please give me a call. We need to ask to elevate their reticular activation system so that their listening opens up at a different level. And their speaking opens up because they're in tune to it. They're going to watch the video. 6 times more people. You can text the video. 100% would see it then versus maybe 30% open it up when we email it to them. So I just want to really, is that something you want to put into your game plan for next year, 2026? You know, 1-minute market, half a minute, 1-minute market update video. I would do it in 2 seconds in today's world. The main reason is AI is going to pick it up. This is all about AI branding. You want to have your videos out there so you have content for AI to pick up content for that. Because then you're going to be viewed as the expert. Okay, this is for homes going under contract by month. You get this the first of every month for the month that was just completed. Not the weekly, that's different. I'll talk about that in a second. This is the monthly. It shows 3 years worth of data, what percent of homes go under contract by in the first month, second, third, fourth, fifth, 6th month, and those that don't go under contract in 6 months. And it comes down right now, so the last 5 months, we're right around 43% of homes going under contract the first month. That's fabulous. You used to see Portland, we're way below that. Because they just never had the job growth. They've been flat in job growth for 3 years. We've only been flat for 1 year. They've been flat for 3 years down there. So 43 is good. And this is for the overall market. So I know it's going to be higher in the mid-price ranges, lower in the luxury. But so this is phenomenal. The second month we're at I'll just look at the last 4 months. We're at 13, then we're at 6, 3, 1, half of 1, and then we're at 26% not going under contract in 6 months. It's all about the first month. This is where seller listing launch came from. We started looking at this, why is so many more homes go under contract the first month? And then who are these people that are buying the home? That's when we realized they're all people that are already in the market looking for a home before the listing came on. It's all about the backlog of buyers. That's why we do seller listing launch. It's all about the backlog. We got 2 prime time weeks to get the home sold. It used to be 3 weeks, but now it's too fast. That's why we hold open every resale house the first weekend, both Saturday and Sunday. In luxury, I'd probably hold it open 1 day the next weekend. You know what that does? It creates FOMO, fear of missing out that somebody else is going to see the home. And now we have a concept called delayed showings. You can do this in their Northwest MLS. You can launch on a Thursday, get the seller to sign document 7I about no showings until the open house on Saturday. So I create inertia in the market, and then everybody shows up at once for maximum FOMO.
And the fact that if you're the listing broker holding it open, you know about the house more than the buyer's agent that's showing it.
Yeah,
To help sell it.
yeah, but they can bring their buyers.
Yep.
But yes, for those that aren't there, unattached people. So that's what we're trying to insert. If that works for you, you might try it in the mid-price ranges where there's lots of traffic, but creating that FOMO. Outside of Northwest MLS, they call it coming soon. We don't have that here. They can launch on a Thursday, Wednesday or Thursday, and it's not active live in the MLS yet for public viewing. It is to the realtors, but they all show their clients, and then the open house, they launch it on Saturday. And so you have inertia and you flip it into FOMO. This is an advanced concept for seller listing launch. So to see if you want to try it out. How does that feel, right? Inertia for a day or two. We tried it launching on Tuesday, but it was too much time. In these other areas, you can do coming soon a month ahead of time, but I've been telling it, well, the house is shop worn by then. Everybody knows about the house by then. So there's no FOMO, the FOMO is cut by 75% once you can look at the house. So we're a quick little inertia, flipping it over into FOMO is the concept. But it's all came from this. Best shot to get a home sold at the best price is that time. Okay, this is the weekly. Yeah, you can see the last 2 weeks we're at 42 and 37. Before that, we're in the mid-20s, all the way back up to May, and then we're in the mid-30s, all the way back up until March 21st when the market rolled over for that. So right now, I just add 20 points to the first week. So let's say we're averaging 40. We're going to be at 60 overall for Southeast King County for resale. That's a surge market already because it ramps up in December, starts to ramp up towards the after the first of the year. I don't even call it spring, after the first of the year, because March is when all the listings start coming on and really vaults up in May around schools, people coming in. So we're already going to be at, let's say, at a 55 or 60, a surge market already for the marketplace. How do you feel now? Happy holidays. This is what's going on today. You might look, if you have somebody waiting to bring a home on after the first year, look at their seller peer group right now. It may be vacant. What are the other homes buyers would look at compared to my house? We're finding some areas there's no other product on the market. You will be the only one right now, today, this week, to roll a listing on. And so we're starting to see some homes coming on now because there's no competition for them to come on. And one came on at 1.1 and there were 14 showings. On the house, there's buyers out there. They're resilient. They want to get a home because they know what the market goes, and their brokers know, their buyer reps know how this works. So they can get in house. Depends what my seller wants to accomplish, enrolling it early, or do they wait until mid-January to mid-February so they could get even more inertia to the market as a possibility. So, but it's okay to buy and sell at within same market timing. I'm just gonna go up to that 500, 750. Here we go here. 500, 750 resale, Southeast King County. Number of listings are 14, 20, 11 was Thanksgiving week, 24, 27, 36. The homes going under contract, 54, 55% the first week. That's a search market. So it looks like we'll be at a frenzy. You'll look over here, we're at 65, 66. That's the beginning of a frenzy market already. 55, this is already at 50, and they got one more week to go. So it will be a surge here. These both will be easily a frenzy. This has already taken place in this price range. The most dominant price range in Southeast King County is already moving forward. Now, when you get into the luxury, we're at 25 and 33, up substantially where we were the last couple of months for that. And we'll have to see how this plays out. Over here, we're going to be, say we're going to be at 35 right now, where we were in the mid-20s. So it did come up one level of hotness already, which it does at this time of year, because so few listings, buyers are more resilient at this time of year. And this is what's heading into why we have the low point of unsold inventory the first of the year. Winter cleanup on listings, either off the market or very few, and buyers are more resilient for that. This is 1 to 1.5 million. You can see a couple 50% here, so that's an elevation. There's only so many listings, so many transactions. So we're going to be at that 40 to 50%, it looks like, for that price range. This is 1.5 million and up. A couple months have some homes that sell instantly, but there's only 2 listings, 5, 4, 3, and you can see 25% of homes going under contract. A few weeks where it's half of 50%. So it varies in that market area. A little bit more consultation with them in that price point. You know, I was just in another market, and the luxury, they're down at for the 1 month total in the 20% for the 4-week total. They got some consultation to do with those sellers in order to get their home moving. But we help people get in motion. So in this price range, I might accept a home for sale contingency just to affirm the price and get the market in motion, because the people buying my home have a home to sell. They got to sell their home in order to move into my home. Well, if their home, their conditions for success, their home's house right, yard right, price right, marketing right, not the right listing broker. I look at their seller peer group, how are they positioned? All those things come into play for me to recommend to my seller to accept a home for sale contingency. In Portland, you have to do it to get the market moving. Up here, we have a good momentum taking place in the market. So there's going to be fewer of them up here. So the seller marketing strategies, we call it position. That's the word of the year. Is I partner with you as your personal representative to help position your home in the best light to get the best price. But position your home within your seller peer group to get the best, price and the best terms available for you. And that's their seller peer group. So your seller peer group, again, are those homes in your CMA. They're the homes that people would also look at. And like if I have a home coming on in January, I'm going to tell my sellers what's going on in the peer group in November, December, and the last week, what happened in their peer group. Because I want to condition them with them about the concept of seller peer group, about positioning their home to be one of the next homes to sell. Because if it doesn't sell the first 2 weeks, the conversation's already there for consultation to get them positioned to be the next one to sell. What's their timing? What do they want to accomplish? All that plays into this. So that's why we've introduced the concept of seller peer group as a conversational item to set the stage for initial pricing and condition and for the future consultation. For buyer strategies, back in March, until just recently, and probably next summer, May, the list price is just the asking price. I need to do a buyer CMA for my buyer on their chosen property, so they have eyes wide open on what the negotiation range is. The seller may be here, my buyer CMA may be here, still need to negotiate it out. The seller's not gonna take my price, maybe, I'm not gonna take their price, but at least I have something to talk to the listing broker about, is here's what the market is telling us. Your pricing was from March. That's not the pricing today. And this is what we still have to do down in Portland, Spokane, Medford, and everywhere else. We have to do buyer CMAs because the listing price is just the asking price for that. But also it elevates our service level to our buyers because I'm adding extra value to them. Here's where we believe the market is. Here's where the list price is. Let's negotiate this out. You may have to come up a little bit. They may come down. And we'll see what takes place. It really comes down to what is the seller's motivation and where are they going to and what's their timing for accepting market price, or do they just stay in the market a little bit longer? The other deal is, I already talked about buyer gridlock. That's when you have a home to sell and you can't move until you get your current home sold. Well, they should be seller ready. My buyer should be seller ready if they own a home, and buyer ready, fully underwritten ahead of time. So that seller knows there's a higher level of certainty that this buyer is qualified to get their home sold and to purchase your home. That's what we look at to accept a home for sale contingency and to move forward. Okay, here's a concept I'm working on. So this is a new concept. I believe all buyers and sellers already know if they're going to be purchasing after the first of the year. What do you think? Does anybody have any listings coming on? Are there any buyers you're working with? They know, right?
Yeah.
But they're just a fraction of everybody that knows. They're already in consultation. They all start looking right after Christmas. And isn't that, how far away is that? 10 days? 9 days? 9 days away? They start looking. They already know. And with that as a concept, I like going to absolutes. So everybody knows if they're buying or selling after the first of the year. So what's the question that comes up?
How's the market?
How's the market? Okay. For you, what's the question come up for your business practice? How am I going to find them, right?
Okay.
How am I going to be the one? That's what today's presentation's about. This is it. They already know. So how do I become the one that either gets their individual home, which is the majority from the people I know, or get a referral from them? 80% of our business is from people we already know. But I need to be present with them in order to get their house, because they know 5 people or 8 people in the real estate industry. But how do I become the one that they choose to represent them? Does that sound fair?
Mm-hmm.
But it's this way all year long. We're just talking about a set time frame right now. So what am I going to do right now to become present with those in my database? First of all, I've got to have a database. And there's only about 40% of us at John O. Scott that have a database of 100 or more. Let's get it going. Our average for those participating is 250. Let's get it going. This is big business. This is your business, your career. We've got the game plan down to help you. But I just need you to say, I need some help getting my names in. I had to ask. I asked, and they got my names in because it wasn't going to happen. I got it. 70–80% of us don't have the aptitude to do it. I'll just be nice. So we got to ask, but we'll help you. Our support team, leadership team, the service center, we've all committed to this. We're now up to, those housing updates, 384,000 we're sending out on your behalf. It's branded to you, only your contact information, and I'll never reassign it to anyone else. You know how many we have in the system with email addresses, your contacts with email addresses? 840,000. So we have 460,000 that don't have a housing update going to them. So it's as if you won't get any business from them. Unless they're in your close 20, which is a fraction. That's not gonna make it. All those people, 460,000 in our database, not getting a housing update, what's going on? That's low hanging fruit. Just go through your list and attach the housing update. So at least they remember your name. In real estate, 71% of buyers forget their broker's name within a year. 60% forget within 6 months. And I think it was 40% forget after a month. No communication, no housing update, no nothing. It's just ridiculous. But here's the good news. This is the field we get to play in. I love it. Are you kidding me? The rest of the industry can do what they do, nothing. I don't care about them. We're going to help 80% plus of our brokers have a database and then engage to be present and then ask in the appropriate way at the appropriate time, for business, be an invitation for service. That's our game plan. It continues. AI is coming. We're going to implement AI in everything. We're in process on a lot of items. Canva, AI home search on the front page of our website. We had 8,000 people last week use AI home search. Those things are all coming, and we're going to have all those things, but it still doesn't change the industry. We have a saying, while everything continues to change with technology, the core of our business remains the same. That is the trusted relationship of a competent professional. All the technology over the last 30 years, that just supported your relationship. Nothing has changed in our industry. We know it's positive mindset, skill mastery, and personal engagement activities. Skill mastery, that's your presentations, both buyers and sellers. That's your open houses, that's your negotiation, your purchase agreement, buyer rep agreements, buyer consultation, seller consultation. That's skill mastery. But this is where business happens. Personal engagement activities. I'm more clear now than I have ever been about what is it going to take to increase our business. Take a look at it. We have a phrase called good to great, great to greatness. Maybe it's going from 5 transactions up to 10. Just a couple simple items will get you there. Or maybe I want to go from 10 to 15 or 15 to 20. Increase my business by 25%. Just a couple simple activities. And I know this because I work with some mastermind groups and I talk to them. Not everybody was engaging with their database. They had a database, but only 30% really open it. And you're not present with somebody. There's a difference about being present, two-way level 2 communication, Dr. Chung shared with us, looking out for each other, than just a housing update, because other people do that too. So I want to be engaged, and those are the activities I'm going to go over here in just a second. So this is how do you become the one to represent them? How many? What are your engagement activities, and what day of the week are you going to schedule? I think it takes 2 sessions a week of 2 hours each. That will double your business, or take it up 25% if you're doing a whole bunch of business already. 2 sessions a week of 2 hours each. Go over your database, look what type of engagement you're going to do, and then you implement it throughout the week. That's what it's going to take. There's no other secret sauce than that. But the good news is only 15% in the industry do it. That's the good news. And they don't even engage. They may have a database, but they don't engage throughout the year on a periodic basis. Okay, seller research. 83% said they would use the same agent to sell their home in the future, but only 18% do. Because they don't know their name. They're never present. They forget it. All those things. But so how did I get the business from the unattached seller? I need to be engaged. Even the people I know. We had one broker had 30 home anniversaries in August. 8 people had moved. And he knows them and they know him. He didn't even get invited to the presentation. This is when we started this 2 years ago. 8 people had moved. He was shocked. After that, he started sending a card, a text, or those 2 items, and then calling every single one and being present. The call is where you get the business. Sending the card is just an elevated housing update. It's nice. but the call is where you get the business. It triggers the reticular activation system. It's the happy call. And we have 144,000 past buyers. We were only involved with 3% of them when we started a couple of years ago. Now we're up to about 35%. Where should we be? 100%, of course. 80% plus, I'm just being nice. Of course, it's 100%. That's where we should be. We would double our business if each one and every one of us took it on to contact our past buyers on their happy home anniversary. It's a card and a call. It's the happy call. How do you feel? Does that feel good? You send the card as persuasion. You send a text, and maybe it's an animated text. Happy 6th anniversary, and some sparkles go up on your text. I don't know if you can do that. Can you do that? Of course you can. Okay, it's like a happy birthday. Samantha tells me it's like happy birthday for your home anniversary. You send the text because 100% see the text, and then you call. And then your call, they're waiting, they know you're going to call. And you call and they might say, I can't believe it's been 6 years. And during the call, at some point you say, is there anything I can help you with? Because maybe they need somebody to clean the gutters or something. And you find them somebody. And then you can always leave an anchor. Because maybe you're leaving a voicemail. And you can always say, hey, remember, if you or if any of your friends or family are thinking of moving, if you need some help or have any questions, please give me a call. Because you're being an invitation for service. You've earned the right because they know you and they trust and reciprocity. So I just want to give you another angle at this topic. So database, engagement, and ask. This is the component that was missing. To outperform the market, I need to ask in the appropriate way at the appropriate time. We know what it's like. So when contingencies are removed, we have to talk with our buyers. Just say, hey, exciting day, contingencies removed. You can start packing. We're heading towards closing. And by the way, I know you're going to talk to your friends and family about this. It's an exciting day. And I just want to let you know, one of them might mention that they're thinking about buying or selling. If they need any help or have any questions, just please give me a call. It's okay. Was that offensive? But you got to practice it. It took me a half an hour to get it down to that level. That's how fast it happens. But I need to practice it and get the inflection right and be okay. And I'm not salesy. I'm just being an offer of service because it's going to happen. Friends tell friends when they're buying and selling a property. It's okay to be an offer of service. And you can say it that way. Friends tell friends. You're going to be telling your friends. Okay, so that's where ask comes in. Engagement. Okay, engagement activities. Happy New Year is coming right up. You can send them the housing update ahead of time. You can send our forecast. You can send our forecast at the first of the year right before your phone call. You can do an annual home valuation around property taxes. January 1st is the day of property taxes. That's when they do the valuation. Get out of your 100 names, how many are in your VIP list? Those most likely to send you referrals. Maybe there's 10, 15. For those 10 or 15, do a home valuation the first of the year for them and package it around property taxes. January 1st is the day they do the assessment value for property taxes for those taxes paid in 2027. I did this home valuation for you. So when the card comes out this summer, we can check in to see see if there's any, how much of a differential there is. How much of a differential there is between the assessment and our valuation at that time. So I get to talk to them twice during the year, my key referral clients. So do you have 10 people or 5 people? Or do it for yourself the first year if that's all you're going to do. Just do 1. Do 5 or maybe get it up to 10 the first year. I'm not asking you to do all 100 or 250. Your VIPs. That's who I'm looking forward to in this. And then we'll have somebody from the assessor's office come in to talk about how to do an appeal before the cards come out in June. So you can talk about that process. So you don't have to have all that knowledge today. How do you feel? Is it something you can? I got to do something. My top clients, of course I'm going to do this. You will get their repeat and referral business, direct business and referrals forever. Happy New Year. Here's our housing forecast. By the way, I did a home valuation update for you because property tax assessment day is January 1st. So when the card comes out for the 2027 property tax payments, so when the card comes out in the summer, we can double check to see how the valuation was. Yeah, see what the differential on the valuation. Because it's not worth doing a appeal unless it's like $50,000-$100,000, because the tax is only what, 1-2%
Yeah.
or something like that. So it's got to be substantial to make it even worthwhile doing the paperwork. And you can't hire a firm, and maybe there's a firm we hire, the Hoppy. He's not around anymore, but his company is. Okay, so that's January 1st for my key clients. We have everybody's getting housing updates. So I'm going to go through those that I'm not sending them out. I'm going to do a 1-minute market update video, and I'm going to commit to Happy Home Anniversary. This is a base game plan, you know, that we're going over. But I got to get started right at the first year with my VIPs as a possibility. And if you come up with another concept, please tell me. Okay, here we go. So this is in-person situational activities. Okay, our engagement is worth 80% of our listings. This is worth 20% on average. For some people, it may be a little bit more, but on average as a company, it's 20%. So we have seller listing launch with early entry for the neighbors, because you'll have out of every 3, somebody's going to be interviewing you to list their property. And you're the one, you're being present with people. This concept of being present, are we getting that? A two-way conversation. We're with each other by phone or in person, maybe a service club or hobby groups, referral networking groups, community service groups, service clubs, or other groups, geographical farm, attorneys are loaded with business, online leads. I need to get myself in position to be present with people on a periodic basis throughout the year. Of course, that's what a service club is, referral networking groups. I belong to a couple of networking groups. They're mastermind exchange groups, and I get 2 pieces of business out of each of them every year. I refer them off. I don't do it, but I refer them off. But this is how it works. But one group we meet both of the groups I meet with are monthly, and then we take 2 months off for the summer. But they're monthly. That's what it takes. It's that periodic throughout the year for in person. Besides seller listing launch, because that's meeting the neighbors. What a gold mine. That is. Okay, key concepts, outperform the market, have your action plan down. I gave you the one slide on the base items to handle, and then there's advanced items. I'll pick 2 or 3 of them. Of the in-person engagement activities, you may get business from 6 different sources, but pick 2 and really get those 2 down for the consistency. Of referral networking groups, aren't there some groups around? What's it called? BNI, there's all these referral networking groups that people look out for each other. And you get referrals. Okay, narrow your focus for greater results. We gave you the 1 page for the basics that will vault you ahead of 80% of the people in the industry, but we got to implement it. Are we going to take that on? Is that important to me in my business? I could get myself up to 10 plus or increase my business by 25% on those basic items because nobody else out there is doing it. Again, this is good. And we've taken this on as a company. We're easily the #1 company in the nation supporting our brokers on these concepts. No one else is even close to supporting having a database, doing the housing update, the engagement activities, and some of the other engagement activities. Next year, when we do Pie Day, maybe we say that's when we do the food drive. So they bring food in for the pie because it's more enrolling. I'm giving something and I get a pie. It's at the same time. Maybe at a Rainier game, maybe ice cream, International Ice Cream Day in July. There's other events throughout the year. Trunk or treat, whatever it might be. But I have people I invite. I send the invitation, text it to them or send it to them because it's critical. I can only do so many texts, but I might text it to them, but then the follow-up phone call is where the business happens. That's where I get referrals. We asked our mastermind group, what % of your business comes from referrals from those in your database? Not their individual home, but referrals of their friends and family, 20%. And then we had some outliers up at 50%. We said, what are you doing? We ask, continually ask, put out the invitation to be of service. That was the differential. That's what it's gonna take to outperform the market. The 1 minute market update video, the happy home anniversary, the property tax assessment. I get two engagements right from there. I'm looking for 5 engagements, maybe 6 throughout the year. And then some office coordinated or personal engagement client events for that. Schedule your success. I already talked about that. This is where grit comes in. The book Grit. Maybe send out the 8 minute video. Again, heading into next year. There's an 8 minute video on grit. It's just going to affirm who you are. I do the activities and only good results show up. That's what grit is. I'm going to have 2 sessions a week of 2 hours each, and I'm going to own it. This is how I choose to practice my business. Frequency of focus, and then I'm going to sense and track to make sure I'm staying on track. Otherwise, it disappears. I talked about a separate topic, AI broker branding. This is to validate you. Have you looked at yourself on Gemini and ChatGPT? Your About Me page. Did you know you have a website on johnlscott.com? It's not just a web page, it's a website that the AI systems are going to pick up. Look at your About Me page. I know half of you, the page is the same as it was 30 years ago. The boilerplate that we put up. You got to own this. You got to amp it up and renew it. Do you have your designations? Seller marketing specialist on the front page, buyer representation specialist, your awards. Do you have how many homes you sold? If you're over 100 homes, that's meaningful. 300, 500 homes. Is that in your item? Because it picks it up. Who are the top brokers in the community? Do a couple of prompts and see where you show up. First of all, do your name in both systems, but do you have Google reviews? If not, if you do a client event, have a computer there for them to do a review for you right then and there. Your objective is to get over 100 reviews on Google. We got to get it going. That's the place for reviews. That's what we're understanding. This Google reviews. That's all about AI broker branding. We'll have more coming out on this, but I'm just sharing with you right now. We can get it going. So between now and the first year, at least do your About Me page. Play keep me at best. Tell me you're going to do it. Okay, but your 1 minute market update video, all that comes into play, and I just got to get it handled. I got places to go, things to do, people to see, right? I just got to get these things handled. This is what I'm going to do every single week for my business development activities. And then Ninja Launch. How many have gone through Ninja Launch recently? Fantastic, nice going. I recommend the program because it gets you in the habit of doing the activities, the engagement activities. And it goes over conversational dialogue. So your comfort level goes up, skyrockets because of the conversational dialogue for that. So the next one's coming up. I know there's some openings for the July 9th.
Yeah, I got a slide for it
Okay.
again. I'll show.
Yeah.
January
What is it?
8th. January 8th.
January, what did I say, July?
Yeah.
January 8th. Yeah. I'm already living next year. Okay, so January 8th, I've gone through 3 times. I would just do it. It's a 90-day program. It's not just a weekend, 4 days. It's 90 days to get the habits down, feel good about yourself, engage with people, and only good things are going to happen out of this because you're going to get in the habit of doing the activities and conversational dialogue. I 100% recommend it for that. And then we got it set up to so everybody can participate day 1. And you can see our success plan over here, positive mindset, skill mastery, personal engagement activities. It's been on the poster the whole time that we have it there. I'm so proud of our foundation, all of us together. We did the Festival of Trees down at the Fairmont Olympic Hotel. They raised over $1 million for children's. The event today is going to be 800,000, the Radiothon. We're just doing good work. And next year will be our 30th anniversary of the John L. Scott Foundation. So we'll have more information coming out on that one. Yeah, way to go. So, and this is the core of who we are as a company, is being a contribution to others. And this is our foundation. This is the higher purpose of what we're doing as a company and one of the great joys of life. So thanks for having me here today. Thanks for showing up and being here. Thanks to everybody online.
Thanks.
We'll catch you later. All the best.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, last few things. We've got our trusted partner, Mr. Aaron Hafner, to come on up for the Mortgage Minute. It is your turn, sir.
Mortgage minute, that's right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lennox, always good. So let me just pop in real fast, we'll talk about rates. So on today's episode, the next Fed meeting is February 27th, and there's about a 20% odds of a rate reduction. Okay, so again, the market was looking that we were gonna, after this one, they were looking at what the Fed's gonna do forward thinking. And they think they gotta get more information before they will think they'll drop it again. It's a kind of a wait and see approach. To see what happens with that.
Isn't jobs reports today?
It is, so I'll go over that real fast. Yeah, so. Again, just remember the Fed sets the rate for the interest rates. They don't set mortgage rates, right? So that's the biggest disconnect that I see with folks is like they say, hey, look, they just dropped interest rates a half a point or quarter point. That means my mortgages are down a quarter, right? But it doesn't. So it just creates the environment. And that's the biggest challenge that I run into when I talk to clients of like, hey, how come these rates aren't lower? They just lowered rates. Well, you know, it just creates the environment for it, right? So it's not one for one. So then today, this is yesterday, 4.176 was the 10-year treasury. Today it's like 4.155, something like that. So it came down a teeny bit, because the employment numbers came out today. So all these numbers that the Fed just got, or they released, the BLS reports and everything else, business labor statistics, they came out, and they're showing for October and November. And so October numbers, it showed that we dropped 106,000, I think, jobs. And for the month of October and gained 60,000 or 64,000 in the month of November. And a lot of those jobs are all created through government. So these aren't the huge generation of jobs that creates a booming economy when they're all coming from government. And a lot of the jobs that lost in October are a result of the furloughs and the DOGE and everything else that got reported at that point. So again, it was a big deal because I think as long as you can see that the jobs are good, we want people to we don't have bad things to happen to people, just lower employment helps rate for a mortgage environment. So anyhow, so we're probably around like I said, 4.76. And then you can see today interest rates are probably around 6.62, 6.25, 6.375. And again, that's with no points. And if we want to have negotiations where we can buy points down, we've talked about this before, you're within that 5% range for striking distance, right? And that's what people want to see. Love to see a 5 handle on the rate. And then so there we are today, around 6.29, whatever it is. But the funny part is last year, we're all at 7%. So if I said, hey, we're at 7%, at the end of the year, we're gonna be at 6.25%, you'd be fired up, right? And we kind of are. So it's just, yeah, I think I talked about the other day, I was talking to a client who was like, we're ready to buy, but there's not a lot of inventory. And I don't want to settle on something I'm not ready for yet. So and I feel that maybe that's the sentiment, as more stuff comes on the market at the beginning of the year, I have them prepped and ready to go. So when they don't want to settle anymore, we think we can get it, and hopefully we do it in the first couple of weeks of the year, so we can still get the market advantage of having the solar credits and everything else for everyone that comes on the market, we're in a good position. So, but again, we were here, now we're here, so this is great.
Yep.
And then here's the representation of that 206.375. So trivia question, what's this number?
King County.
That thing.
And it's going up.
It's 806,000. That is the conforming loan limit across the country in 2025. So if I'm buying in Ardmore, Oklahoma, find a house now, 806 would be my maximum before I go to jumbo rate. You guys know what this number is? The King County high balance. In other words, Fannie Mae will buy these loans up to 1,037,000. So without going to jumbo land, which has higher like tougher underwriting guidelines. That's for King, Snohomish, and Pierce.
Nice.
If you're in the other counties, it's 806. Okay.
Yep.
So I fell for this one too. Gotta be careful. Okay, but now what's this number represent?
It's going to.
Exactly, so it's going to, at the beginning of the year, 832,750.
Yep.
So I can go to Ardmore, Oklahoma and still buy a house at 832,750 and not be under jumbo. Okay? And be under jumbo, excuse me.
Yes.
So we have to think the next number is gonna be
Higher.
163,750. So I can buy a house under conforming loan up to 1,063,750. Now, I didn't show the next slide, I didn't show the other part, where if I buy a duplex, triplex, or fourplex, that number is way up there. So if I did a fourplex, I think it's almost damn near $2 million.
Wow.
It's a conforming loan. So if you buy a 4 point. But anyhow, if that's where it's gonna be, it is now, okay? And then so on the back of your sheets. I have this handy dandy handout. So new loan limits, 832, 750 across the country, King Snow Mission Pierce, 163, 750. So if I want to do a zero down bond program, I could do that up to 832, 750 is my purchase price, right? Zero down. If I want to do a 3% down loan, I can buy an 858 home with an 832, 750 loan amount. Okay, so you can do 3% down on a purchase price at 858-ish. Okay, pretty good. Now, when I had hair, and I was much younger, this number, I remember 417 is what it was, used to be back in the day.
Yep.
And then if I want to do 5% down, okay, 5% down, I can go to 1.19. Think about that. I can buy, I mean, if I have income, but not a lot of money saved up, which a lot of people have, I can buy almost over $1 million home, with only paying 5% down.
Dang.
And so if we go to jumbo land, anything above this, the guidelines are tougher and it's really hard to find anything with less than 10% down. On a jumbo loan. That's why this is really cool. Okay.
Yep.
And here's your 10% of 1.1. In fact, I could buy a 20% down at 1.3 million. At a $1.63 million loan. Okay, so this is cool. This opens things up. And again, it creates, now a lot of these jumbo programs are easier to qualify for now, but especially the lower down payment ones, this is really helpful. And especially in that mid-tier price point that you talked about, you can still do a 3% down and still be okay.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. Okay.
Nice.
Any questions on that?
Good chart.
Okay. And then we have reverse mortgages that we've talked about before, if you, especially family time, if you're on family members. And you want to talk about, hey, older folks are like, hey, I want to, or more senior folks, not older folks, senior folks who just want to say, hey, I want to age in place, or I think I want to sell and I want to buy somewhere else, but I don't have enough money from the proceeds of my house. How can we do this? How can we make it work? It's an awesome program. I'm passionate about this one. This is really helpful. Okay. And then we have our Refi 5 and everything else. Oh, the power of Yoda. Thank you. The power of the Refi. And I believe that's all I got. So thank you. Thank you very much.
Another trivia?
I didn't we had time. Okay, you got me on the, oh, okay. What was the first song, Christmas song ever played on the radio?
Rock and roll.
Christmas song.
White Christmas.
No,
Oh.
Holy
night.
no, mine. The radio.
Rockin' the Christmas tree?
Jingle bells. There you go. Jingle bells. First one. Now I give you the date on that, but that was the first one.
That
Yeah.
was the first.
Yes.
Good job, John.
Good job.
Good job, good job. All right,
On the
last
fly,
but
I
not
like
least,
that.
some upcoming events.
Time to say that.
Save the date for Wednesday, January 21st. That's gonna be our huge kickoff. We're gonna have some special guests, secret surprise people to show up. We're gonna do giveaways. We're gonna have lots of special guests coming, doing a panel and really cool stuff. So make sure you guys save that date. And we're trying to find an off-location site to do it at. So we're working on plans still, but just keep that one down. Ninja Day, launch day. This is cohort number 4. This is the 4th event that John L. Scott has done with Ninja, and that is going to be January 8th from 9 to 4 p.m. We'll be doing a live Zoom right here with Larry Kindle. And with that, I'll leave you guys with this final quote of the month. It is, you can tell a lot about a person by the way they handle 3 things. A rainy day, lost luggage, and tangled Christmas tree lights. Guaranteed. All right, that is it. Thank you guys so much for making it. We greatly appreciate you all. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
All right, nah.